Hey guys, it's Doug with Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, and today we're going to talk about pastures. So I haven't seen many people talking about pastures, and so I wanted to bring it up just in case you're a new homesteader and you're getting your property for the first time, moving from a city environment, never really been around animals, or maybe you have and maybe you never thought about it either. But right now we're going to talk about pastures. And you can see there's a lot of ragweed in our pasture. When we have a lot of ragweed in our pasture, that means that our ground is very acidic. So we'll need to level this out with a dose of lime this fall, which we'll be doing pretty soon. When we bought this property, our pasture was not in the very best shape. It was pretty shoddy and it had a lot of weeds. We've since done some maintenance to it. We had it clawed, which is where they bring out the big tractors like you see the guys farming with, and then they pull this big claw behind it and it scratches up the ground really good and creates a loosening of the soil, if you will. Then after that, we had the whole property, we had it disked in all of our paddocks, where they come in with these large discs, and the discs cut up all those clumps and smooth it back out, and then they came back out with a like a big rake thing, and it smoothed out all those clumps, and then we overseeded, and then we kind of got a fresh start on our pastures. So what we have here is a lot of ragweed though, because we're in the process of rebuilding our pastures so we can have good grass, some white clover, red clover. You want to have a nice mixture of grasses on your pastures. We have also fescues and several other different species of grass. And until you get that thick enough, the weeds are going to want to grow out because they grow the fastest. And then what happens is the weeds come out so high that they shadow what's underneath, and then that stuff can't germinate and grow and get stronger. So what you have to do is make sure that you're keeping your grass short enough. It's just like the grass at your house. Keep this weeds cut, keep this stuff short enough to where everything is getting equal sunlight. So when we overseed in the fall this year and put this lime down, we'll want to make sure that there's nothing that's going to stop the seeds from getting the sun and the water and then germinating and then growing as they should. And if you have a bunch of weeds, then that's what's going to stop that. So we're going to nip that in the bud. So right here we see this whole field out here is filled full of ragweed. Okay, so that's the problem that we have, is that it's just not thick enough out here yet to choke out a lot of the weeds. So we're in the process, like I said, of rebuilding our pastures. But what you can do for sure is you want to stop this from going to seed. Okay, that's a big thing. So we usually brush hog 2 times a year out in our fields, even with the animals eating on them. Okay, now the other problem with weeds in your field that you're grazing animals on is if you let them get too high, the animal suffers in getting down to the good grass, the good clovers and everything that's good down here, because it has to put its head down through these weeds, and then you'll have eye irritations, you'll have nose irritations. Some of the ragweed, some of it is kind of flexible, but some of it's very stout, and there'll be other weeds in your pasture that'll be very strong, like if you put your hand on it, it can like poke you and hurt. So you want to get rid of that stuff so it doesn't cause problems to your animals' faces when they go down and just try to do the natural thing that they're meant to do, which is eat the pasture. Also with the ragweed, it's very like dusty and powdery. If you've ever been around it, it'll leave a yellow film on you if you walk through it, or or your tires if you drive through it. So another thing to help with that is to keep keep it down, because that powder also can get and irritate the eyes and the noses of your animals. So this area right here is the area that we haven't brush hogged yet, and I got the brush hog out and I'm going to be doing that. This area right here, I've already brush hogged, so you can see that it's nice and smooth and it's easy for the animals to get their heads down and to graze on the pasture. So I'll be finishing up cutting the rest of this pasture today. I just wanted to drop off a quick video for you guys in case maybe you never even thought about it. I mean, from a guy who came from the city, I never really gave it much thought until I started learning, and this could save you a little bit of headache, maybe a little veterinary problems, because like I said, those weeds will poke them in the eyes, poke them in the nostrils. They could even poke them in the mouth when they go down to eat, and it could cause infection in their mouth and stuff like that. So this is just a helpful tip so you guys could maybe avoid some of that. So like I said, this is a nice smooth area here. You can see nothing growing up. They can get to the grass very easy, and that's an ideal pasture. So we'll see you guys on the next episode. This is Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, and thanks for watching.
Hi, Homestead homies. Please like and subscribe. And comment down below.